Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is gonna be about my trades that I've took in the past week, this week. Today's Friday, so yeah, since Sunday. The trades that I've lost, the trades that went against me, and the trades that were successful. So let's get into the video. All right, so we're currently on V10 1 second. This is one of the indexes that I mostly trade. So I'm gonna go down. Hold on. So first we see that the market was in a downtrend, right? So we basically wait on the pullback. With this strategy, we wait on the pullback, and whenever we trail that pullback with a trend line, whenever that trend line breaks, that's when we enter to join trend continuation. So as we can see here, this is the trade that I took. I took this on, when was it, Sunday? I think it was Sunday. But this is the trade that I took. The entry was on the 15-minute time frame. All right. Okay, so this is how the setup was. This is how the setup looked. I was watching it from, it created this high here, then a low, a higher high on the lower time frame, then a higher low here, and from this point you can see that it really pulled away from the first trend line here and created a trend of itself up here. So I came in with another trend line to trail this trend here and waited on the break of this trend line. All right, so where I got the entry right here, this is supposed to be drawn over like this. All right, so at the first break here, I was a bit skeptical because, as you can see, it was really sticking to the trend line, and I don't really like when it sticks to the trend line like that. Sometimes I'll draw my trend lines, like I'll connect the lows, of course, but then I'll give it some space. Sometimes I'll do that because, there's trend line liquidity, etc., etc. So sometimes I'll just give it a little space. But I was a bit skeptical in terms of right here when it's glued, it's practically glued to the trend. So after it broke, I wait until it gave us, at least as you can see here, three red candles going down before I said, okay, I would enter at this point on the 15-minute time frame. And then I held the trade, of course, because on the higher time frame, this was the low that pushed up, that started the pullback. So this was my overall target. This was like the final target for me. But there are key levels on the higher time frame that I targeted as well. The trend line, this lower trend line, this second trend line down here, this was one of my target areas as well, because the market can pull back to this trend line here and then push up. It can do that, but it didn't do that. As you can see, it only gave us a little rejections off of this trend line and then continued downward. So my first set of targets were here, and then the final set of targets were at this level here. And as you can see, the market continued falling afterwards. I could have held it. I could have come in with another, after I saw this steep pullback or something, I could come in with another trend line from this point up here to, and connected it to here. And then at the break of this red trend line, no, that would be my exit point. But it would still be the same, at the same place, because as you can see, this was my target here, and the market broke the trend line here. So I would just have to adjust it. And then continue to hold the trade. But I know what I was looking for in the market, and I'm not chasing the market, right? So that's basically it. That's basically it for volatility 10 1 second. I just waited on the pullback, used the trend lines to trail or follow the pullback, and then I enter at the break of the trend line. Also, you can use, should I, should it, you can use the fib. Hold on. All right, so let me just delete this. This was another trade that I took, but this is the pullback. I'm gonna make the trend line, one of the trend lines, visible on the 4-hour time frame, so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, all right. So just so you can see what I'm talking about. So this up here, this level, this was the last valid high on the 4-hour time frame, and uh, we would use the Fibonacci retracement tool from this high and drag it to the start of the pullback, which is this level here. What gave me more confidence to enter on the 15-minute time frame was the touch of the 78% fib here. It touched the 78% fib and then it broke my line. That gave me more confidence to just jump into the trade after it gave me the three selling candles from the first break on the 15-minute time frame. So that gave me more confidence because, as I said before, the market tends to gravitate towards the 38, 61, and 78% fib. There can be confluences in those areas in the impulse, in the internal structure. In this internal structure here, there can be confluences that will reverse the market, like a previous, in this case, like a supply, so like a supply zone or a fair value gap or inverse fair value gap, support and resistance levels, etc. So that's basically how I was able to execute and get that, what people would call it, a sniper entry. But yeah, that's basically how I got the entry and how my setup looked. All right, so that's it for 1 second. The next one that I got the entry off of is step 200. That I got the trade off of is step 200. All right, so here we are. Oh, 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 oh. All right, so on step 200, okay, so on step 200, as we can see here, let me make this line red. As we can see here, first, on the daily time frame, on the 24-hour time frame, the market is trending upwards, right? It's trending upwards and we have started a pullback here. So I went down on the 4-hour time frame. With step 200, I have to wait until the the market has given me a breakout structure, like a proper breakout structure like this area here, and then the pullbacks must give me a lower high, so far in this, while it's trending now, it has to give me a lower high, and then I come in with a trend line on the 4-hour time frame. If it's not on the 4-hour time frame for step 200, I won't take the trade. So pullbacks like these, I'm not interested in them any at all. It has to give me a steep and proper pullback, so something like this, and then I waited on the break. So I'm gonna go down on the 1-hour time frame. Okay, so as you can see, after it gave me the steep pullback and the lower high on the 4-hour time frame, I came in with the trend line and I waited on the break of the trend line. At the break of the trend line, I entered for trend continuation in an uptrend. However, as you can see, the market didn't make its way up to my final take profit here. My first set of take profits were this level here, where you have a resistance level, resistance here. So my first set of TPs were in this area here, and then I came in with a new trend line because we see that a trend is forming here. So I came in with a new trend line and told myself whenever the market breaks this trend line, that's when I would exit the trade completely. And as you can see, the market made the break here at the first trend line, and that's when I exited completely. Even though I have two trend lines here, that's no problem. Once it breaks my first trend line, I'm out. I'm not waiting. I'm still practicing the steps like with the trend lines. So this was kind of a what should I say? A trade that I shouldn't have taken. I shouldn't have taken the trade, but but you get what I'm saying. That's why I exited at the first break of this trend line here, because I wasn't playing. It can reverse. We know that it can reverse, or it can reverse. We know this, and it's rejecting. It rejected off of this supply. It rejected off of this area here. So I was a bit skeptical about that. So I exited the trade in profits. In profits, my brother. But yeah, you get what I mean. So we did 10 1 second, step 200. The next one is V15 1 second. So I think I'm still in this trade, but I got, yeah. All right. Okay. So let's start from the daily first. So on the daily time frame, we can see that it's still in an uptrend. Yes, it's still in an uptrend because it hasn't broken below the previous low here. So it's still in an uptrend, but it's currently retracing. Let me see something here, just a moment. So it's currently retracing and it's bursting through the 78%. So we can see price going lower. But at the break of my trend line here, I'm interested in sells because this is a higher time frame trend. Is a higher time frame trend line, and if I can capitalize on the move from here to somewhere here or the 78 area, I am going to. It's the break of an upward trend line, so I'm taking it. But anyways, let me go down on the time frame that I took the entry. All right, here we are. So the first break here, when it I didn't catch this any at all. I wasn't in the market any at all. I didn't see it. If I had, if I did see it, I would have come in with a trend line. Even though these pullbacks on the 1 hour time frame, I don't really like them because they're weak. With the one candle, they're really weak. But I managed to enter to be on the chart when this pullback was happening here, and at the break. Oh no, rinse and repeat. At the break of the trend line, I enter. At the break of the trend line, I enter. And then a new trend was forming here, so I came in with another trend line. And I told myself at the break of the trend, this new trend line here, that's when I would completely exit the trade. So it would be right here. Yeah, at the exit here. But listen, the first set of targets was right here. Structure trading, first set of targets were right here, and then I left it and came in with this new trend line here. However, with this one now, I re-entered because I saw a steep enough pullback. Here, so the stop loss is not supposed to be this wide. I didn't know. My stop is on the other side of this green trend line here. If the market was reversing and came on the other side of this green trend line, I would jump out. But it didn't do that. It just fell. So my stop was really close. It was really close, probably above this candle here. Yeah. So I'm still in the trade. My first set of targets, as I said, structure. My first set of targets were here, and I came in with this new trend line here. Once it breaks, I exit. So I think the last one, that's for 15, and then the last one was 50. I did this on my live on TikTok, and it reversed. See there? It reversed. Things like these do happen. It reversed. I had another reversal up there, the same setup here. It's literally the same thing. I think I made a YouTube video about it. You can literally see the same thing. But anyway, let me just explain. So we know that 50 is in a downtrend. It's predominantly going down. We see that. However, on the 4-hour time frame, there was a steep pullback. It's pulling back. Do you see that? Exactly, it's pulling back. So I'm saying, okay, it's around a level on a key level on the Fibonacci tool. Let's see, hold on. All right, so we're coming with the fib from this high to here, and it was reversing off of the 61 level here. So I said, okay, this is giving me confidence. This is giving me signs that okay, it's reversing, and it's a previous this around the 61, as you can see just a while ago. It was around a previous support and resistance key level. So I'm saying, okay, at the break, I'll enter. I did enter here at the break first, but then I saw it reversing. And on the 4-hour time frame, when I saw it reversing, I think I'm going too fast, but it's fine. So the market had broken the trend line here at first, and then it pushed to the downside to this level where it started to pull back. I've said it multiple times before. When the market closes, if it's retracing after the break, if it's pulling back and it closes above, and the candle, the pullback candle closes above the 38, I'm gonna jump out. I don't care what the market is doing. I'm just gonna jump out, and then that retracement, that pullback, I'm gonna come in with a new trend line, and wait on the break for that new trend line. And that's what happened. That's exactly what I did. So the fib is not going to show on the 1 hour. I'm not going back to do that. But this is, as I said before, this is where I entered first. It was retracing, and then it closed above the 38% area here. I exited completely. Then I used a trend line to trail this retracement, this pullback that closed above the 38 and waited on the break. That's why I entered here. I was waiting on it to break the yellow line here, the neckline, and close below it. At least break this bottom trend line before I upped my lot size to my usual. But it didn't do that. And I came in with a new trend line here because we have a high up here. And a lower high was created. So I came in with a trend line and told myself, okay, if the market breaks the red trend line, I exit completely. This is how you stay on top of the market when the market is going against you. At the break of the red trend line, complete exit. Yeah, I think that's it. 10 step 15 50. All right, yeah, I think that's it. So that's my weekly recap. I haven't had any losses, and that's good, but that's basically it. I don't want to come on here and say, okay, I'm not a trader that never loses. I do lose, because if I didn't know about, if the market had pulled back completely above the 38 and past the 38 straight up to the 78 without closing, and then it closed above the 7 to the 78, I would lose. And then if it continued upward, I would lose money there. But it didn't do that. It didn't do that. So yeah, wanna get what me I say, right? I think gonna get what I say, but it's fine. If you have any questions, I'll definitely answer to the best of my ability. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.